Hello, good afternoon. This is David Soto talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions for the upcoming trading week of September 21st through September 25th, 2020. Okay, and what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to look at all the major forex currency pairs on a 30-minute chart. Okay, just so we can see what happened this past week. Okay, and then I'm going to look at higher time frames such as the 4-hour, daily, and weekly charts. Okay, and I'm going to try to give you my analysis of what I think is going to happen based on that comparison. All right, so to start with, I want to look here at EURUSD. Okay, and as you can see here, we're pretty much in a flat range of market. We have some highs and lows, but the price ended basically where it started. Okay, and that's pretty much what I predicted last week. Okay, and there's no trends developed, there's no uptrends, no downtrends, but this is okay. All right, this is actually ideal time to trade using a 30-minute chart, even a 15-minute chart, when you want to trade arrow to arrow. Okay, now if you see here, if you were to place a sell trade here and then close that trade when you get the next blue arrow, you would have about 1,400 points. Okay, so not bad. All right, and then if you buy here and close the trade on the next red arrow, again you have about 1,000 pips or points. So that is really good, and that's all in 1 week. Okay, that's 2 trades in 1 week, and that's excellent. That's excellent amount of pips and profit. And the nice thing is, you place a trade here on the 15th of September and close it on the 17th. So you get at least 24 hours, maybe 48 hours that the trade will be open for, and this way you don't have to be constantly checking it every 5 minutes. If you're scalping using a 1-minute chart like that, you're going to be constantly checking the computer, seeing when you open and close the trade. But with this strategy, you don't have to be constantly checking it. So when you're in a flat range of market like this, it's excellent time to trade. Okay, now the big question is going to be, is it going to be dropping? Okay, it's been looking to go into a downtrend for quite some time, but for the last 2 weeks, it's been riding in a sideways fashion. All right, so will it continue? We're at a high point now, so it should be going down. Now let's look at the 4-hour chart. Okay, the 4-hour chart has an up arrow. Okay, never formed a red arrow, and it just stalled out. It went up, 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 and then like I said, the last 2 weeks, it's just sat here. Okay, it's just going in a sideways motion. It's not really going up or down. Now let's look at the daily chart. The daily chart shows the drop. Okay, and the weekly chart shows the drop. So the bigger time frames always take more precedence than the smaller time frames. So the daily chart and the weekly are stronger than the 4-hour, meaning that this is long term. This will be going into a downtrend. All right, I know the 4-hour chart shows the buy, and more than likely it will go back up. We see right here there's a level of resistance right here. Okay, we have a little higher also. What I'm thinking now, this is just my personal opinion, don't take it for a grain of salt, but what I think is going to happen is the price is going to go up, and it's going to touch this resistance here and form a blue arrow, a red arrow rather, at that point in time. It's not going to go back up as high as it was in the past. It's just not going to happen. All right, so we need to see a red arrow form before we can say we're going to be going to a downtrend, a long downtrend. But like I said, the daily chart and weekly show the drop. If we go back to the 1-hour, the 1-hour shows to go up, but the 30-minute shows to go down. Okay, where we started at the beginning of the video. So probably what's going to happen is we're going to again see more of a range of market. Okay, and I think the price is going to drop back down in the beginning of the week, and then by the end of the week it's going to shoot back up, and we should, don't quote me on this, but we should be seeing another blue arrow form up here somewhere, and it will reflect on the 4-hour chart. So that's what I'm hoping for. So again, this week we're going to see a lot of a range of market. We see a continuation of what we saw last week, which is perfectly fine. So you can keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame or even a 15-minute time frame, your choice. I would say keep it on a 30-minute time frame. Okay, and trade from arrow to arrow. Okay, so right now we have a red arrow, so it's safe to place a sell trade right now. and hold it until you get a blue arrow and close it. And then once you get the blue arrow, wait a few candles and then place your trade. Okay, place your buy trade, close it on the next red arrow. Okay, so that's how you should be able to get at least 2 trades this week, just like we did this past week. So count on that. All right, so you can both buy and sell this week. Okay, now let's move on to GBP USD. Again, we see kind of a range of market here, a flat range of market. The price did end higher than where it began. Okay, about 500 pips or so, but more or less it was in a flat range of market. We did not see any major trends develop. Now I am impressed that the Great British Pound gained against the US dollar. That means the US dollar has been dropping some. Okay, so now the question is it going to be dropping? Because I know the GBP has been wanting to go into a downtrend for quite some time, and it has actually gained. So let's look at the 4-hour chart real quick. The 4-hour chart has an up arrow, okay, and has not formed another red arrow. So just like EURUSD, we're looking for this to form a red arrow, okay, on the 4-hour chart. The 30-minute chart shows the sell right now, and it's probably a good time. You probably can sell right now. Wait for the next blue arrow. Again, it's going to be caught in a range of market, okay, just like we saw previously with EURUSD. Let's look at the daily chart real quick. The daily chart shows a drop. The weekly chart shows to go up, okay? But like I've said before, the weekly chart hit the same level of resistance that we hit before. Did not form a red arrow for whatever reason, but this is assumed there's a red arrow there. So this should be dropping, okay, long term. All right, daily chart already shows a drop, and it's been dropping, okay? But right now, at this present point in time, we're kind of stuck in a range of market. And the 4-hour chart shows to go up. So we can count, at least for this week, for the price to be escalating, going up. Okay, the 30-minute chart right now shows a red arrow. So what you can do is go ahead and sell right now. You're not going to get a lot of profit, but close it when you get the next blue arrow and then buy again. Okay, and just keep repeating that process, at least for this week. Okay, you'd be perfectly fine trading in a range of market using a 30-minute chart. Okay, moving on to AUDUSD. Again, this is a perfect setup for in a range of market using a 30-minute chart. Okay, we see the price ended pretty much where it began, and if you trade using a 30-minute chart, you buy. Let's zoom out a little bit. You buy here. This is from the previous week, but you could buy here and close on this red arrow. You'd have a nice profit. Look at this. You say you buy here and you close up here. That's 850 pips and points and profit. So that's pretty decent, okay, especially for AUDUSD. You never gain a lot of profit with AUDUSD. This is not my favorite pair to trade, but you still can gain a lot of profit from this. Okay, let me zoom back in a little bit. So again, you can sell here, close there, and buy again here and close here. So now we have a red arrow, and we can safely sell right now. Okay, wait for the next blue arrow, and then repeat the process. So I do feel that this will be continuing in a range of market this week, just like the previous two we saw. Let's look at the 4-hour chart real quick. Again, the 4-hour chart shows to go up. So we should be seeing the price, go in a range of market, but overall it's going to go up. Okay, we should see the price end higher than where it began this coming week. All right, so what I feel is going to happen with prices here is price is going to end somewhere around here. Okay, and what's going to happen is we're going to see another red arrow form when it touches this, and that's going to mark a long downtrend coming. Okay, because we look in a daily chart, we have let me delete this trend line, horizontal line, but we have a red arrow already on the daily chart and the weekly chart as well. Okay, so long term we can be counting on this to be dropping. Okay, and honestly, I'm kind of shocked that we have a red arrow on the weekly chart, because the last red arrow is way up here. So that signifies that this is going to be dropping, okay, for sure. But it's going to take some time. It's going to take a few months for this to drop. So don't be counting on this to make a huge drop anytime soon. But for this week, keep your charts on the 30-minute time frame. Buy and sell both. Okay, you can sell right now at this present point in time, and then close the trade when you get a blue arrow. and then just repeat the process. All right. Moving on to US dollar, Swiss franc, USDCHF. Again, the market was in a pretty much a flat range of market, moving in a sideways fashion. You can see right here the price ended right where it began. Okay, and that's okay. You know, we can trade on a 30-minute time frame, trade from arrow to arrow, perfectly fine. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart shows the drop. Okay, again, if the previous three pairs we looked at, Euro, Great British Pound, Australian dollar, if all those should be going up this week, US dollar should be going down this week, okay, and forming a strong support. So we have a support right here, okay, that hit several times. What we're looking for is a price to drop, hit that support again, and form a blue arrow right in here. It's not going to drop all the way back down to here. So we're going to look for a blue arrow here, and that will mark a long uptrend, okay? Let's look at the daily chart. The daily chart has an up arrow and the weekly chart as well. So what we're looking for is for this to drop this week some, form a blue arrow on the 4-hour chart. Once that happens, we're going to have a definite long-term buy. But for this week, we can safely buy and sell both, okay? No problem. Right now we have an up arrow. So you could place a buy trade right now if you want and close it when you get the next red arrow. You're not going to get a lot of profit, but you can definitely do that. Or you can just wait until you get the next red arrow and then place a sell trade, because I do feel that price will be dropping this week, okay, and it's going to be touching this blue arrow. That is not a solid not a solid fact, but that is a very strong probability, okay. So definitely be looking to sell more than buy this week, okay. You can both buy and sell, but I will be looking to sell more than buy, okay. Keep that in mind. Let's look at US dollar, Japanese yen, okay, USDJPY. This one's a little unique. We did see the price had gone into a nice steady downtrend, okay, straight downhill. Now we hit this, I say rock bottom. We hit this strong support level here, and it's slowly working itself back up. So, and this was you know, on Friday afternoon. So, question is it going to keep going up now? Let's look at the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart, as you probably guessed, does have a strong support, a strong arrow to buy. So I do feel that this will be going up this week. Okay, look at the daily chart. The daily chart has a blue arrow but no red arrow. Okay, of course this formed a while back, a few weeks ago, but that's okay. The price was pretty much in a range of market, and now it's shot back down to that same level of support. There's no blue arrow on the daily chart. That's okay. All right, but we don't care about that. Okay, but the thing is, it is at the same level, and so it should be going back up. If you look at the weekly chart, we have a blue arrow. So all indicators are pointing up. So don't worry about buying and selling this week. Don't worry about putting your charts on a 30-minute time frame. With this pair, USDJPY, I would buy only. As a matter of fact, on the 4-hour chart, you could just place a buy trade and keep it open all week. Okay, probably the next 2 weeks. Okay, if you wanted to. All right, up to you. But at least on the 1-hour chart, you could buy right now and close when you get the next red arrow on the 1-hour chart. That would probably be the best, most effective strategy. That way you don't have a trade open for several weeks and have to incur a lot of swap fees. Okay, if you close on the 1-hour chart, you're only going to have a trade open for a couple of days. All right. So anyhow, now let's look at USD CAD. That's the last pair in the lineup here. Again, see a perfect range of market on the 30-minute time frame. The price ended almost exactly where it began, so that looks really, really good. When you trade from arrow to arrow on a 30-minute time frame, you'll get some nice profit. We should see a continuation this week of this same thing. If you look here on the 4-hour chart, we have a down arrow. Okay, so again, we can expect this to drop, you know, some. Okay, I do expect the price to end lower than where it began. I'm going to mark this support right here. I feel what's going to happen is that the price will drop and we'll hit a blue arrow right in here. It's not going to drop all the way down to the same level because the long-term trend is looking bullish. If you look at the daily chart, you have a blue arrow here. So we know long term this is going to be going up, and the US dollar is slowly starting to regain strength anyhow, okay, across the board. Now if you look in the weekly chart, and I know I showed this before in previous videos, we do not have a blue arrow here, but we are at the same level of support we hit before. The reason we do not have a blue arrow is because it did not drop exactly this far down, okay. But you know, if I take this right here and bring it down to this support here, we see that we're at this level of support and pretty much other levels of resistance and support. But this, where this candles are right here, they're just slightly below that line. So that's the reason why we did not form a blue arrow. But for all intents and purposes, all practical purposes here, there is a blue arrow. It's just you don't see it because you know you did not hit the exact same mark spot to form that blue arrow. But this is a very strong support, and we will be seeing this go back up long term. So now is a good time to buy and hold if you want. But what I would do this week is keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame. Okay, you can buy right now and close when you get the next red arrow. You're not going to get much profit because I don't think it's going to go up very much. I think it's about ready to form a red arrow already. So I would probably recommend wait until you get the red arrow and then sell. Okay, I think for this week we're going to see the price drop, and we should see the price drop down to this support here. Okay, it's a good strong marker right there, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, looking for the price to drop, hit this, and once that happens, you should see a blue arrow form on the 4-hour chart. Okay, once you get that blue arrow on the 4-hour chart, you can buy and hold long term. All right, but either way, we're going to get some profit this week. So you can sell, definitely get some profit, maybe 500 pips. I don't know. Let's mark from here down to there. That's 800. So you can get at least 500 pips on a sell, and that'll take a couple of days for that trade to close anyhow. So definitely hop in on that trade, and then when you get the next blue arrow, wait a few candles and then place a buy trade, and then you can close it, I would say, using a 1-hour chart. So you should see, hopefully you'll drop here, you'll see a blue arrow form in the 1 hour and probably the 4-hour chart, and that would be a good indication you can buy for long term, like I already stated. And if you have your charts on a 1-hour time frame, okay, 1-hour time frame, and you do buy, when you finally do buy, you can close on the next red arrow. Okay, and that's going to take some time, but that won't be this coming week. That'll be another week or two down the road. Okay, just kind of plan that in the back of your mind. Okay, long term. All right. So anyhow, that's my weekly trade predictions. If you have any questions or comments about this, and if you would like for me to analyze any other currency pair, because there's so many I can't go over all these pairs in this video, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. I have a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook. Please contact me there first. Also, there's a link for my private Facebook group, and you can request to join my Facebook group. Post any questions or comments in my group. This way, myself and other traders, we can all collaborate as a team, okay? And we can have an open discussion about this, all right? So that's the whole goal of having this Facebook group. Anyhow, I hope this is informative. I hope you learned a little bit. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be more than happy to help you. Thank you, and have a wonderful week ahead.